All right, y'all. So, as most of y'all know, I know that most of y'all know, Joel Embiid returned a few days ago from injury. You know what I'm saying? Which is great. We love that. Good for him. Glad he's doing all right. Return against the Thunder in a game where SGA, J Dub, and Tyrese Maxey were all out. And me personally, I was hot because I wrote about this game for work, right? And I picked the Thunder to win, and I knew there was a possibility of Embiid coming back, but I didn't think it was likely. And he literally sat out shoot around that morning. So I was like, all right, cool. Like when that story was published, I was like, all right, cool. I don't have to go back and edit anything. He sat out shoot around. There's no way he's going to play, right? Had me out here looking like a damn fool, bruh. I don't know how many people read that story, but they got me out here looking like a damn fool. This man, an hour before the game, which the 76ers are definitely going to get investigated for this again, the same way they were when they didn't have Embiid on the injury report versus the Nuggets in Denver a few months ago, and then he sat out, and they didn't announce it till like an hour before the game. So, yeah, they're definitely going to get investigated for this, but, my fault. But, an hour before the game, this man was announced as returning, and I was like, oh, so I was pissed. But anyway, Embiid had a very good game considering the fact that he literally just came back from injury, right? And he was gassed, everything. Which is, you know what I'm saying, there's no way to get back in shape except for actually playing the game. People say that in every sports league everywhere, so, like, we know it's true. I didn't expect him to be in shape. He was obviously gassing those spurts that he was playing, whatever. But other than that, bro, he honestly looked very good. And I know there's going to be people that are mad because, you know what I'm saying, he scored 24 points, which is great, but he shot 12 for 12 from free throws, so he scored 24 points and 12 of them were free throws. I know people are going to be mad about that. And I'm not a huge fan of Joel Embiid's play style. I haven't ever been, to keep it real. But, like, this video's not about that. This video's not at all about that. You know what I'm saying? That's been played out plenty of times. That's been talked about plenty. I don't need to talk about it. Okay, so the first thing I noticed with Embiid being back, right, was how much better Buddy Hield looked with him there. And ever since the trade, Buddy Hield hadn't looked great, right? And it was like, I felt like I couldn't really put my finger on if he was not fitting in right with the personnel or if he just wasn't being used right. And I wasn't watching a lot of 76ers games because they weren't doing too hot without Embiid, which, you know, is expected. But so I personally, I couldn't tell what the problem was. Bro, when he was back, that two-man game with Embiid and Buddy Hield looked amazing, bro. And it seemed very, very obvious to me that Embiid was going to continue to have the best playmaking season of his career. And Embiid, let's keep in mind now, this man was going to be the runaway MVP if he stayed healthy. Like, he has played, I think, 35 games, something like that, 30-something games, and he still leads the league in 50-point games this season. That's insane. And I know he's not 100%, everything like that, right? And I don't expect him to be, honestly, for the rest of the season. There's only a week and a half, not even a week and a half, really just a week and like 2-3 days. So, yeah, a week and a half. Anyways, I'm done. A week and a half left in the season, right? So I'm not expecting him to get back into great shape. I'm not expecting him to be 100% anytime this season, and which is fine, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I'm surprised he came back, but we'll talk about that. Allergies, y'all know what it is. Leave me alone. All right, thanks. But this does mean, him being back, it does mean that teams will have to take the 76ers seriously come playoff time. And right now, the 76ers are the 8th seed, right? And I know that Embiid and the 76ers for the last few years, they haven't been as productive as we would like come playoff time. And I know that that's a real concern and everything like that. But the threat of this fully healthy Sixers team is coached by Nick Nurse and not Doc Rivers, keep in mind, is something that teams in the East, these top two teams in the East especially, will have to actually keep an eye on. Because right now, the Sixers are the 8th seed. And the way things currently sit, the Pacers and the Heat are tied for the 6th seed, but the Heat hold the tiebreaker, I'm pretty sure. So the 76ers and the Pacers would meet in the first game of the play-in. Me personally, I would pick the 76ers to win this with Embiid. So that means they would be playing the Bucks in the first round. If they win that play-in game, whether it's versus Miami, whether it's versus Indiana, but right now it says Indiana, so I'm going to talk about it as if they'd be playing Indiana. And we aren't even 100% sure if the Bucks are going to be the 2 seed, but I'm just talking about things with the way the standings are right now in the East. It would be Pacers-Bucks in the first game of the play-in. It would be Pacers-Sixers in the first round of the play-in, and I would pick the Sixers to win and then play the Bucks as, you know, in the 2-7 matchup in the first round. And there have been very, very few good first-round series in the East recently, right? Like last year we had the Heat beat the Bucks in 5 in the first round, right? The AC beat the 1 seed. That was great. And then we had, not the year before, but it was 2022 year. It was the 2022 year, I'm pretty sure, where it was a good series, but if you just look at it, it wasn't actually a good series, but every game was actually pretty good. It was the Celtics and the Nets when they had KD and Kyrie and all of them in the first round. Was that 2022? Was that 2021? That might have been 2021. No, that wasn't. No, 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 no. That was the year of the Bucks. Okay, so that was 2022. They beat them in the first round. They swept them 4-0. But if you actually watch, though, that was a good series the whole time. And then if we go back to, I think it was 2018, the LeBron year when they had, I think it was LeBron versus PG and the Pacers in the first round. That might have been 2017. I can't remember, but it was a good series. But other than that, we haven't really had too many great first round series in the East recently. That would be a very good one. Bucks versus 76ers would be a very good one. And let's just say the Sixers lose to the Pacers in the play-in game, but then they beat whoever the winner of Hawks Bulls is, right? So then they play the Celtics in the first round. That would be a less good series, but I think that would still be a very good series compared to the things we've seen in the Eastern first round recently in the last few years. And the 76ers aren't a team that I would pick right now to beat the Bucks, and especially not the Celtics. Now the Bucks, they're 500 with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is still having comments that aren't great. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks just lost to the Grizzlies. They haven't been looking great recently, right? But no matter what, no matter who the 76ers face in the first round, with a healthy Embiid, healthy Maxey, healthy team, Nick Nurse coaching, that would be a good series no matter what, with Embiid's return. At least that's my hope. I think that's a lot of fans' hopes. Like, I would love to see great series. I'd love to see great players facing off. So I would love to see Embiid versus Giannis or Embiid versus Tatum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd love to see these teams play each other. And I think it would be a great series. And like I said, I wouldn't pick the Sixers right now to win either one of them. But it would be a great series, which is what I personally love. And that's the biggest takeaway from me, which is the whole reason I'm making this video, is that Embiid's return means that we will at least get one more good series in the first round of the East. And then we'll see. Maybe they make an upset. Maybe something crazy happens. Maybe they somehow make it out of the play-in. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I just think it would, and maybe if the Heat do fall back into that playing spot, that would be a very good play-in game versus the Heat and the Sixers. Like, the Pacers and the Sixers, I think, would still be a pretty decent play-in game, but it's like the Pacers have a lot to figure out right now. I don't trust them, but y'all know the Heat are one of those teams that you never know what's going to happen. I do expect them to be the 6th seed at the very minimum. I don't expect them to be in the play-in again this year, but I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be too shocked. Like, it's definitely possible. And I just personally was shocked that Embiid, let's switch turns. So we know what Embiid's return means, but I personally was shocked that he returned because, first of all, with an injury like that, he was only out, 8-9 weeks, something like that, I think. So I didn't even expect him to come back this year. And then with the with the Sixers being the 8th seed right now, right, I didn't expect him to come back. I was like, okay, he's just going to let them guys do what they do, make it out of the play-in if they make it out, and then lose in the first round to Boston or Milwaukee, right, like get swept, losing 5 games, whatever. And that's what. And then I thought he was going to come back, come back next season when the Sixers have a lot of money. Tyrese Maxey's probably going to be even a little bit better. The Sixers have a lot of money, and they're trying to go out and get another star. And the rumors right now that I'm hearing personally, I don't have a lot of ties or anything, but what I'm hearing on Twitter and stuff is PG, which makes sense because rumors are that PG and the Clippers are nowhere near a return talk, so it looks like he's not going to be returning. So I expected Embiid to sit. I expected him to come back next year fully healthy with a fully healthy squad with a PG or another star, you know what I'm saying, with him. Nick Nurse will still be there and everything like that. So I expected him to just wait, come back next year, be fully healthy, and then next year was going to be the year where we see, okay, can Embiid be the 1A on a championship team? Well, he proved me wrong. He came back, and I just don't know why, because it seems to me, and I don't know why, but I think it's probably just the competitor in him. He wants to be back. He doesn't want his team to just be out there. He doesn't want the perception to be, like, he doesn't want stories to come out that, oh, he could have came back and chose not to, which I think people probably would have understood, but people in Philly probably would have hated. And his teammates probably wouldn't have liked, like, you know what I'm saying? So I understand why he's doing it. At least if that's the reasons why, I understand why he's doing it, and I respect that a lot, actually. But I didn't expect him to, because to me, it's like there's nothing for him to gain this year unless they make it to the conference finals at the minimum. Like, the finals and get a ring would obviously be something that would be great. That would shut up all the Embiid narratives and stuff like that, but I don't see that happening no matter what this year. It would have to be some crazy stuff that going on in the East and then even the West for them to win a championship, let alone make the finals. So I don't see that happening, which is why I don't think there's much in this for Embiid. Like, I didn't see him coming back because I didn't see there being anything positive for him to come back for unless they make the conference finals, which I'm not sure is going to happen, especially if their first round matchup is a team like the Celtics or a team like the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a tough matchup, and I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that at all. In fact, I'd probably pick them to lose both those series if they played either one of those teams. And Embiid and the Sixers already have this like notion around them that they're like playoff chokers. They don't show up in the playoffs, which is why. And Embiid's not going to get any sympathy. Like, if he loses in the first round this year, he's not going to get too much sympathy from the NBA world. At least I don't expect him to. People are going to be like, well, if you said you can play, you pulled up and played. You should have played better. You should have won. You should have put up a fight. You should have done something, right? And to me, it's like that narrative is just going to continue to get worse if they lose in the first round this year, which is why I didn't expect him to come back. So I personally was shocked that he came back. I do love the fact that he came back, though, because it means at the very minimum, whether those narratives continue or not, at least we're going to get another good series in the East in the first round, because those Western Series first rounds look like they're going to be amazing, and there are some series in the East that are going to be good in the first round, I think. And Embiid coming back just means that odds are there's going to be another one. Now, if they imagine they don't make it out of the play-in or something, that would be crazy. That would be terrible, worst case scenario for Embiid, but I don't see that happening. But it's possible. It's the NBA, anything can happen. It's one game. You know what I'm saying? Any team can beat any other team on one given night. Like the Pistons have wins, the Wizards have wins. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like any team can beat another team on any given night. So it would be crazy if they didn't make it out of the play-in. I expect them to make it out of the play-in though. And I'm glad that Embiid came back. I'm excited to see who they face in the first round. I'm excited to see who they face in the play-in as well. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. As always, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up in the comment section. I'll be reading them. Y'all know that. So y'all just let me know what y'all think. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. It helps the channel out a lot. But yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Stay praying. Love y'all.